Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. It's Thursday already. How does am I in here? Okay, I think that's it. Sorry, y'all. I'm not having the best tech day today, apparently. Good morning, sunshine. Hopefully, your Thursday is off to a really good start. As you can see, the sun is back, which makes me so freaking happy. Truly. I had a great evening yesterday as well. So I'm really looking forward to sharing today's news with you guys. We've got some interesting stories. I know quite a few of you guys are curious about what Kung Fu Portwood has been up to lately. And I have to tell y'all, so I went on TikTok just like, par hasard, by hazard or happenstance. And I was thinking about this Kung Fu Portwood story I wanted to do for quite a while now, because a couple days ago when I was on her TikTok, I saw like how many people subscribed to her paid live thing, right? Because she had all these positive comments when she was doing her typical live stream. And I was like, oh, like, I guess she locked it to members only. Well, how many members does Amber Portwood have? And how much is she charging? So yeah, I got that information. And it's so crazy because I went back yesterday to get the screenshot of the information. And sure enough, Kung Fu was live yet again. And this time she was live with a fellow YouTuber, you guys. She was live with LB. You guys know LB, right? Friend to this channel. And she was crashing out bad. Amber, not L, right? I got that. And in the middle of her crash out, Amber actually spilled some tea about her ex-fiance, Gary Wayt, the one who decided to become a missing person to get away from her. Yeah, I think that's going to be probably our most juicy story of the day. We've got all that and more in today's episode of the show. We're also going to be talking about Chris Lopez also crashing out on TikTok, but he's jealous of his mom and his mom's relationship with his kids. We also have to talk about Taylor Swift on her boyfriend Travis Kelce's podcast. And last but not least, Johnny Depp, producers from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise are begging him to come back after the network abruptly dropped him and cut ties very publicly over his ex-wife, what's her last name? Amber Heard's op-ed. So if you find yourselves enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report at any given moment, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows you enjoy my content. Let's see who we've got with us today. Ali, girl, you look good. You were telling us, I think it was yesterday, that you were on your way to the salon. Is this the result of your salon visit? Absolutely gorgeous. You and your hair look amazing. I love this. Y'all, I get so happy when you guys come show out with new photos and stuff. All of you guys' current photos are so beautiful, but when I get to see these updates, I get so happy. So thank you, Ali. I love that. Your hair looks amazing, boo. You too. Good morning, Paprika. Good morning, Carly, Tadisha, Stephanie. Good morning, Venetia, Gwen, Kahara, Acacia, Kate, Ash and Emmy, Amanda, Kristen, Ann. Ann was trying to catch up on yesterday's episode. Well, I'm happy that you're live for today, and I hope that you get to enjoy the playback of yesterday as well, Ann. Good morning, Madeline. Nice to see you. My little brother's first crash was a girl named Madeline. It's such a cute name to us. Good morning, Gala, Jaleesa, Jasmine. Thank you so much, Jazzy. I decided to go ahead and wear some bright colors today. It's a good day. The sun is shining. And I'm going to Musée Nocturne. So one of my favorite museums, it's the one I was supposed to actually go see last week, Musée de Quai Branly, with my friend Isabella, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I think I might even wear this for our little visit tonight. Hell yeah. Steph says it's not pirates without Johnny. Ain't that the damn truth? Honestly, this is the thing about these networks, these big companies. They will have these knee-jerk reactions to firing people, right? To posture. And then as soon as the dust settles, they go running back to these people. And it's just like, you know what? If you're not going to stand on business, like, just don't do it in the first place, right? Cough, cough, bravo. Gwen says, until his oldest time, guy complaining and wanting more time with his kids, has women in his life doing the actual parenting work. Yup. I've got his full rant, and y'all, it is a 5-minute video. So buckle up, get that popcorn out, unless you eat sugared popcorn, in which case, shame on you. Good morning, Tammy, Crazy Dalmatian Lady, Kristen as well. And yes, Ali confirms that this photo is from yesterday after the salon. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love, love, love. Good morning, Money Swipers. Angie as well. Oh, what is Madeline, that character of the girl? She wears blue and yellow and she's got the hat with a bow behind it. Is that what that is? Because I think I read that too. It's so cute. But in English though. Just an FYI. Erin says, so excited. T Swift is about to be my neighbor. Welcome to Cleveland. She's moving to Cleveland. Taylor Swift. Can they handle that? Can Cleveland handle Taylor Swift? Like, she's major, right? Wow, that's crazy. Can Taylor Swift handle Cleveland? Like, she's mainly based in New York and Nashville. Like, super, like, no offense to you, my Cleveland boo, but like, you know, that's quite the difference. Damn. That's okay. Well, listen, Taylor Swift, you better demand that ring. It's been about 2 years now. Let's go ahead and demand the ring. You know, do you guys think they're going to get engaged and have babies? Oh, God, I hate when people ask these questions, but here I am asking this question, right? And I know, listen, I will never miss an opportunity to drag sweet popcorn eaters. Bonjour, Kelly. J'espère que tu vas bien, ma belle. And yes, Crazy Dalmatian, I've got a screen recording from that confrontation. We have to talk about that in today's episode of the Morning Report. Stay tuned. But first, we're going to kick things off with Chris Lopez's crash out. I don't know what the hell happened to this man. By the way, shout out to my Reddit girlies for uploading this crash out, but he was just on his TikTok live. By the way, I have to go and check to see if he too is paid to go live on TikTok by his TikTok community. Y'all know I'm nosy. I need to find this stuff out for myself and for you as well. But basically, he's upset because Kale trusts his mother with his children more than she trusts him with the kids. So essentially, his mother gets to see the kids a lot more often than he does, and he's definitely not happy about it. So like I said, we're going to talk about all of that right about now. If you're enjoying today's episode of The Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Take a look at Chris's videos. Continue to leave your comments in the live chat, and I'll get right on back to you. Playback Posse, leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you over there. Here's Chris talking about what's going wrong lately in his co-parenting with his baby mama, Kale Lowry.
I'm not saying I ain't want a relationship, but it's like, how fair is it that you get to see my kids and I don't? Why don't you stand up for me and say, well, if my son can't see his kids, why the fuck can I see his kids, but he can't see his kids? That's where I'm coming from. Y'all don't understand that point. Y'all understand it was a point in my life I was not seeing my children? My firstborn son, Lux. I didn't see him when he was born for 67 days. You think I would ever forget that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I would never forget my son. I remember holding my son when he was born for the first month and shit like that, seeing my son. He looked one way. Then I ain't seen my son for 67 days, and when I finally got to see him, he looked like a totally different kid. Didn't even recognize him. How you think that made me feel? So some of y'all, that shit that y'all never even knew. People can never take my experience away. And then I get punched in the face and didn't see my kid for a month. So it's shit that people don't understand. I've been time without my kids and shit like that. So to see other people being able to experience your children is a little different. And maybe I was being a little unfair, but it was more so of a support thing. Have your back, have my back, because I would have y'all back. I would defend y'all, and I've always defended them. Like, it's been times where motherfuckers were disrespecting my mom, and I cussed them the fuck out. They got me fucked up. You ain't about to disrespect my mom. I'm watching how they talk to my mom like that. You got me fucked up. You think you about to talk to my mom like that. For my mom to be like, no, it's okay. No, the fuck it's not okay. I'm not about to let nobody disrespect you. You got me fucked up. I don't give a fuck who they are. I don't give a fuck if they birth my children or not. They ain't about to disrespect you. Fuck no. That's how I always am. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's when I realized people don't got the same type of thing. You know what I mean? Some people don't think the way you think and shit like that. Confrontational, you out your goddamn mind. This is my mother we're talking about. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it was the same. Like she just wanted to have a relationship with her grandkids and shit like that. And people ain't thinking like that when they're getting their way. You know what I mean? You know, that's just like when you're in a relationship, you don't see it for what it is when you're in it. So when she's seeing my kids, she don't see it the way I'm seeing it. Like, oh, I get to see your kids. That's good enough. But it's like, Mom, I don't get to see my own fucking children. And I'm not saying this to start shit. This is real life shit that people go through. You know what I mean? Do you not see your kids now? Absolutely. My kids are right there. I could call them in here one by one if I wanted to. It's just like I'm saying, like it's just I've been time without my kids, and not many people can relate to that. Not mothers. They can't relate to not seeing their children for a time period and shit like that. And it's hard. Like women think men have to fucking earn the right to being a kid, and I hate to say that because I know not all moms are like that, but it's like y'all think men have to earn their right to see their children or earn a right to be in their kid, right? It's like you didn't have to earn it, you just birthed them. And I'm not taking away from that. But it's like I played just as much as part of it as you did. What gives you more of a right than me? And I said all the time, the shit that I'm going through, these motherfuckers couldn't last a day in what I go through. Wicked echo, can't hear you. Log out and come back in. Yeah, there was one time I was not allowed to see my child unless I signed a child support order. That's some real shit. And again, what I'm speaking on real shit. And I'm not saying that money is, unfortunately, sometimes they just want to make you pay. Like they just want to hurt you and shit like that. Or control, you know what I mean? Once the system gets involved, you're fucked. You know what I mean? And that's why I tell people, try to work shit outside of court, because it's like, who wants anyone to tell you how you can move with your children outside of the parents? Why the fuck should a judge that don't give a fuck about your kids have any say about your kids? You know what I mean? But some women know how to capitalize off the system, and they know, well, it's going to go in my favor. So he's the one that's going to be in control. That has to be controlled.
Oh my goodness gracious. What did I tell you guys? To me, it sounds like he's essentially saying that there is some sort of an arrangement where Kayla's like, listen, I do not trust Chris with the children. However, I do see the value in the children having a relationship with their paternal family, right? So that's why she goes to his mother. And I remember she used to be quite close to his aunt as well. And so Chris is kind of like calling his mom a bit of a traitor or a backstabber because she is not refusing her time with the kids on behalf of Chris, essentially. Did anybody else come to that same conclusion while they were watching this? Because that was just, what do you want for your mother to do in that case, right? Like, you're not allowed to see the kids, but at least your mom can. And your mom is these children's grandparents. And you need to do whatever it is that you need to do to be in a position where you are allowed to see these kids, right? Why is it that all the other baby daddies, they have all this access to the children, but not you? Let's not forget about the things that you've admitted to. You've admitted to hitting these children, including Creed when he was an infant, right? And all sorts of other things. Didn't he also admit to choking Kale? We know Kale is violent too, but that's something as well that has transpired in that particular relationship. And, you know, like so many of you have pointed out as well. Listen, I think it's the heat, y'all. My brain is short circuiting. I'm sorry. But as so many of you guys have pointed out, right? Like Kristen says, it's always about him. The kids are there. They're in the background. And per usual, instead of tending to them and spending proper time with them, the man is ranting about his baby mama on TikTok, aka their mother, in front of them. These are the things that Petty Betty, and she wouldn't be petty to do this, right? But I like to call her that. These are the things that she can easily download, put into her folder for the courts, and say, hey, look at the way that he behaves when I give him the children. He's not paying attention to them. He's got his camera set up so he can go and rant about me within earshot of these children. That is not appropriate, and that is not healthy behavior at all. And she would be 100% right to do that. And then if she were to do that, which she probably will, Chris would come back and cry again, launch another GoFundMe to ask us to pay for his legal fees so he can get a lawyer to fight her on this. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Carly says, this is why we don't make kids with people we don't want to have interactions with for the rest of our lives, Christopher. Exactly. It's like what the men always say to women when women end up single moms or, in these toxic co-parenting relationships and situations, right? They always say choose better. Now let's go ahead and start saying that to the men. Choose better. Chris, you always bragged about how you didn't even want this girl to be your girlfriend. She was a part of your harem. Then why were you going raw with her? You were just complaining in this TikTok live about how she kept your first son from you for so long, right after he was born, that by the time you finally got to see him again, he looked like a completely different child, right? And yet you chose to go ahead, load up the peen with some sperm and shoot some more cannonballs all up in Kale to make another kid. That's crazy, dude. And I'm supposed to feel bad for you when you had a girlfriend this whole time. You were running around with Kale behind your girlfriend's back, right? Please, you're not a victim here. This is like a series of bad decisions coming to fruition. And like Acacia's saying, he had the opportunity to see the way that Kale operates in 4K on television. He could have seen or read about the way she treated her inaugural baby daddy, Joe Rivera, how she treated her husband, because guess what? She was still married to Javi while she was running around with him. And he thought he was so freaking special that none of that could have ever happened to him, right? Well, now look. And that is a great question, K-Car. I swear that is all he does on social media. Talk about his baby mama. Listen, Chris, I imagine there's some interesting stuff going on with your second baby mama. Let's start putting her on blast too. I want to know what's going on there. Didn't they break up? I'm sure you've got other baby mama drama besides Kale. We're ready for something else. Give us some new material. I didn't get to do any creeping to see how much he's making from these TikTok lives or how much people are paying him. But next time I see him go live, I will be doing that, you guys, because listen, it must be lucrative or something like that. Right, Tanisha? If that's all he does on Instagram and on TikTok as well. Oh my God, he is exhausting. But then at the same time, don't forget that is what his baby mama does as well. Kale, across several podcasts, even when she was in a relationship with Elijah, even when she was engaged to Elijah, she would talk nonstop about Chris and how badly she loved and wanted that man, all the things she would have done for a chance to smell that man's stinky armpit after a 12-hour shift under the hot sun, right? So they're both kind of obsessed. At this point, it's then why don't you guys just, anyway, listen, a mess. Winnie the Cat asked a really good question, which is he not allowed to be with his mom when the kids are visiting? I get the impression that he's not allowed, which is quite fascinating to me because I do imagine that with co-parents like Chris, where you do not have all the trust in the world in them, you set up something called supervised visitation, right? With a trusted family member, like Ryan and his parents. Like Adam, Chelsea trusted him with Aubrey only when his parents were around, right? So you would think that would be the arrangement there. and that he would be able to spend time with his kids under those circumstances. But apparently that is not even the case. Apparently he's not allowed to be there when the kids are at his mother's house, which is interesting. So I guess maybe, but that's the thing. He doesn't have exclusive visitation with the kids like in a center or something like that. So why is it particularly in this scenario he's not allowed? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So please leave your guesses in the live chat if you're watching live, or in the comment section if you are part of my playback posse. Listen, one of my boos is back. He's awesome. He's awesome. I was so ready. Did you see the big deep breath I had to take before I got into my recap of the Valley? Because I was like, oh, East Awesome's going to drag me, him and Star. They're going to drag the hell out of me. You missed it, Bill. I'm sorry. But listen, still Team Janet. We need some more on that guy, the creepy guy. What's his name? Daniel. Daniel is a creep. I'm sorry, but I'm ready for that situation to be exposed. Lord have mercy. Great question, K-Car. Like, you know, this is poor coochie management. This is poor penis management. You got to do better. You know, like we've got to do better as a society, because what is this, right? A man is not even going to claim you, but you were going to go and do irreversible damage to your body to have this child. Okay. As a grown woman, you know, she's not a teenager at this point. This is a grown woman making the decision to do that. That's insane. Vivian says, Al kept it cool, but I would have been talking smack back. Yeah, Al did a really good job. So that is in regards to the Amber crash out on TikTok. She was like going crazy on Elle, and it was really rough to watch. She actually even muted Elle. So I guess if you were watching from Elle's stream, you could have heard her, but I was watching from Amber's stream. And we couldn't hear her, and the whole thing was just insane. I just went there trying to like be nosy about her finances, and look what I've stumbled upon, right? Hey, Esther, nice to see you. Good morning, good morning, good morning from Texas, she says. Gwen says, y'all, my kid's dad has a coworker who traveled to Canada for work. He keeps making 51st state jokes, and we're making bets on what someone knocks him the F out. Oh, he's saying that to Canadians. Listen, Canadians don't play about that. Y'all saw how big that boycott has been, y'all. Like, it's a big boycott. Don't do that. I don't want to see him get his ass whooped. Or do I? Lindsay says, let's not forget how Kayla abused Joe and the way she treated Joe's family that helped her. I equated that to her being young, but she's a piece of work. Exactly. He saw all of this. And said, you know what? I'm going to make not one, but two kids with this woman. And on top of that, he always bragged about how he didn't even like this woman. I can't feel bad for him. I'm sorry, but I really cannot. Kelly says, wasn't there a protective order against him when he knocked her up the second time? Yep, there sure was. That's why she went and had that home birth, because the restraining order and the baby daddy that you've got the restraining order against in the hospital, not a good combination, right? Ronnie, nice to see you, boo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully your day is off to a great start. Now, listen, since so many of you guys are talking about Amber and whatnot, and her crash out against LB over on TikTok, why don't we go ahead and skip over to that story, right? So first, let's talk about the whole reason I was even there. I'm a nosy woman. I cannot help it. I am a nosy woman. So I said, listen, Kung Fu must be making a pretty penny if she is sitting up here on TikTok all day, every day, when she could be doing other things to make money now that the gravy train has ended. It looks like she has burnt her bridges over at MTV. And so I don't know that she still has a place there, right? She's already extremely controversial for being a serial AB user. And on top of that, she doesn't even have any contact with her daughter, which was the whole reason she was even on this show. And then her son lives out of state. So if she doesn't have a relationship with her daughter and her son is out of state, why would we need her for this show, right? Well, now, on top of those things that make it kind of difficult to justify giving her a salary to appear on this show, new information is coming out, which is that she is constantly dragging. And I mean dragging the producers of the show. She's saying that like some of them were so creepy. She got approached for, what was it? She got approached by, what is that Nickelodeon documentary about how some of them were like being really, really creepy to her and whatnot. Like, yeah, a mess. Okay. Can I ask you guys, if you're in the live chat, do you think that they're going to bring Amber Portwood back for another season of the show, if the show even comes back? because I really don't think that they can justify it at this point. What would they film? Her ex, Gary, the OG Gary, right? The one that she was, being also abusive to. He's kind of no contact with her because his daughter is no contact with her. So there's really nothing to shoot with this woman. She doesn't leave the house. She doesn't have friends. I know she's dating some new, like, random old man, but, like, I don't even think that that's really serious. Like, there's nothing there. Okay. So let me see what some of you guys are saying about whether or not you think that Kung Fu is going to be back. Eliana says, I hope not. Listen, you and me both, boo. When he says possibly the ish show self. Well, it would if there was, like, controversy to film. Her controversy was her daughter, but her daughter's done with her, so I don't know. Dalmatian says she needs to be fired forever. And I agree. Listen, maybe put her on, what is it? Carly, your comment made me laugh. Maybe put her on Teen Mom Family Reunion so we could see her getting therapy, right? But on Teen Mom Next Chapter, I just do not see it personally, right? Just saying. So Amanda says, I feel unfortunately they will bring Amber back. Amber has never faced any consequences except jail time, and even then she hasn't learned. Listen, anything can happen, right? That's the crazy part. Right? Anything can happen. Maybe they will bring her back. I don't know. But I'm struggling to see what her storyline would be. She'd need to move a boyfriend in ASAP if she wants for us to watch her. Just saying. So anyway, listen, I have my calculator here in the form of my telephone as well, so we can get into her money. Don't you like finding out how much people are making on social media? So here's her TikTok. And this is how you find this out. When somebody's going live on TikTok and then it says like it's a members only chat, click on that thing where it says members only, right? And then there it's going to give you all this information. Sorry, I have to translate my TikTok to English, so this could be easier. So it says that she charges typically $2.99 per month, right? Right now there's a discount of 30 cents, but typically it's $2.99. So we're going to put that $2.99 number. And then up there, 584 abonnés, 584 followers. $2.99 multiplied by 584 followers. My girl is making $1,746.16 a month yapping on the TikTok. I want to know, do y'all think that's a good amount of money for what she's doing? Like, in theory, it sounds pretty good. But then when you think about it, the girl is talking 24/7. All day, every day. I do believe that this is something she would do for free regardless. However, when you're talking 24/7, right, and then you divide that by the hours and you're doing 10 hours a day, it's not as much money, right? But overall, that is not the only way that she's making money on TikTok. Like how sometimes when people are doing these TikTok streams and whatnot, like they put like these cowboy hats, they put this blush filter, they put these mustaches, stars. Those things are money. Mind you, it's very, inconsequential amounts of money. Typically, it's maybe $1 or less or something like that, right? But that is money too. And she seems to get quite a lot of that. So I do think that she makes at least like $2,000 a month when she does her TikToks, which, listen, I don't think it's too bad. I don't think it's too bad at all, because again, that's something she would do for free. She doesn't really have anything else going on in her life, right? So why not, right? Just saying. Bray says she wasn't even allowed to participate in the 16-year anniversary. I highly doubt she would be back. Oh, that's true. I completely forgot about that. Great point, Bray. So Amber's niece, Leah, had an ultimatum. In order for Leah to participate in the 16-year anniversary of the show, Amber had to be banned. And guess who MTV chose? Leah. So you know what? That would excite me if we got to continue Leah's journey without Amber, right? And don't forget, that is something that MTV is in the process of piloting. According to Kale Lowry, MTV came to her with a contract for her child, asking if Isaac would be down to film a sort of spinoff that would focus on his point of view as a child of the teen mom, right? I'm not going to say it. Okay, I'm going to say it. When it comes to the whole Isaac thing, right, I'm still very much confused. Next couch edition. Angie. When it comes to the Isaac thing, I'm still so confused because here's the thing. When he was doing his coming out episode on Kale's podcast, he was saying that, like, he doesn't like being associated with the teen mom universe, right? And half the reason why he wants to go by Elliot instead of Isaac now is because people know him as Isaac from Teen Mom, 16 Pregnant, whatever. Yet now we're finding out that like they agreed to do some kind of a spinoff for MTV for him, like for like the Teen Mom kids or something like that. Can someone help me make that make sense? Because like there are just certain things about that whole story that I just do not understand. Just saying. Thanks, sweetie. That's so nice of you. Exactly, Claire. It's a good amount of money. Imagine all you have to do is yap, you know, maybe snort a few lines and yap a little bit. And you get paid your full rent. That's not a bad deal. Although maybe that's how much the blow costs. Not that she's on blow, but not, you know. Aliana says, the way she lashed out on Elle was uncalled for. Amber doesn't care about anybody else but herself. Her kids could see this someday. There was no reason for her to be that way. And I completely agree. It was disturbing. Elle did not deserve that as well. And listen, as far as I know about Elle and her channel, I think that she's pretty like fair. I don't see her as somebody like who really attacks anybody. So it kind of, you know, and some of the things, because I was there when she was accusing Elle of being like an alcoholic and drinking on YouTube. I was like, is she though? Does she though? Because I don't remember ever seeing or hearing anything about that. I think she was mistaking her for another YouTuber, right? Acacia says that's not enough to support her lifestyle and child support, right? It's a good start, right? It's a good start. But if you're doing that 10 hours a day and like, you know, the MTV is not really paying you anymore, they're not so sure about hiring you again, you really, really have to, I don't know. I do worry for her in her future. Like, luckily, she did buy her house completely in cash. So there's no real risk of foreclosure or anything like that unless she slips on property taxes. But that's, you know, I think 1 month of streaming or 2 months is her whole property tax bill for the year, right? So that's fine. But I digress. Winnie says, if she's going to do that much talking, why not do a podcast? Well, what a great question. I think that could be interesting. But could she get sponsors for a podcast? That I wonder. But maybe she could do like a Patreon podcast where people pay per episode or something like that. Allie says, doesn't she live in a broke state? Allie, oh my God, Indiana is going to come for you, girl. I didn't say that. Allie said that. I don't know nothing about Indiana. I am sorry to the Indiana community. She could do that in the courtesy of her own couch. Damn. At a broke state. I've never heard that. Kayla says, actually, she don't even pay rent. She owns her house. So yeah, great money, no child support. Yeah, so don't forget, she pays child support for the son. Andrew doesn't play about his coins, y'all. However, Gary has allowed her to slip when it comes to Leah. Can I ask you guys, you know how Gary doesn't like demand child support from Amber on behalf of Leah? Can Leah at a certain point in her life, even at 18 or something, go and file her own documents to get retroactive child support from Amber? Because I think she's entitled to it. And I think it's just, you know, it's disturbing that Amber is not doing that like forthright on her own. And it sucks that Gary's not pushing that. So I really do hope that that's something that she's eventually able to go ahead and do. Kellen says, actually, she doesn't even pay rent. She owns her house. So yeah, great money, no child. Oh man, I just read that. I'm sorry. I'm telling you, the heat is frying my brain, but in a good way. Steph says, that's better than nothing, you know. Absolutely. Listen, it's a good gig. She doesn't even have to do, like, she just rolls out of bed, starts yapping. That's it. You know, she sings to people and, you know, she does all these things that she enjoys doing, right? So I think it's a pretty sweet deal, to be honest with you. And that's not even everything, right? Because again, people are sending her these like emojis and these things like that costs money. That puts money in Amber's pocket. Kate says, I guess that's not bad for sitting on the couch. Exactly. That is a pretty sweet damn deal. Listen, when I tell you, actually, you know, you guys have to see salaries here in Europe, man. One of my friends, she had shocked me actually, because she works at a bank, and you know, like Le Champs-Élysées with what is that, l'Arc de Triomphe and everything like that. One of the most expensive, rich, luxurious streets in the world. It's here in Paris in the 8th arrondissement. So she works like in banking, and she was telling me her salary. And listen, it's not far off from what Amber's making here to do TikToks. Okay, so like it's a pretty damn good deal. Just saying. Val says Amber needs help. She's sitting there talking about someone who had 6 kids, doesn't take care of her kids. And then she's talking about addiction. Exactly. It was the pot calling the kettle black. And Brie, yeah, it does sound like that is the kind of direction that they are trying to go in for the spinoff. And it looks like you guys are confused about the whole Isaac Elliott. Do you or do you not want to be associated with Teen Mom? Because not only are you changing your name, well, you know, listen, again, I've been saying this from the beginning. The whole name change thing has Kale written all over it. She's obsessed with changing those children's names, whether it's their first name, whether it's their Last name, she wants to change them for whatever reason, right? So the explanation was, I want to distance myself from the Teen Mom franchise. Except, what types of ASL videos are we making on TikTok? Oh yes, reactions to Teen Mom content, right? Like, what else are we, like, there's a lot of Teen Mom content on his social media, and now we're hearing that he's doing a spinoff. I don't get it. I don't get it. Listen, maybe this is it exactly, Brie. I think this is Kale written all over it. So no shade to Isaac, himself. I think this is Kale written all over it. And listen, Joe is not playing ball because Joe sees it too. He says, no, sit down somewhere. I'm not doing this. Mrs. D says, I'm sorry, I cannot stand that. His name's Elliot now. He's very much like Kale, which is worrisome. Again, I don't think that was him. I think that Kale did all this. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, listen, I like him a lot, but I think that this is Kale, like, being bored. When Kale gets bored, she wants to change some names around. Kale's only worried about, listen, that's why she said she wanted to croak in 20 years. And then her co-host said, don't you have toddlers who will only be like 20 years old in 20 years? She goes, yeah, but I'm worth more to them dead than alive. It's the money. Girl, seek help. Immediately. Absolutely immediately. Right? Winnie the Cat says, I think he did because Kale pushed him to. She's always every single one. She's done this with Lincoln. Now it's Marshall, right? What was it? The Creed. It's Romello or Mello now. That's all it is. That's all it is. Please, girl, get a hobby. And you know what? Maybe get a hobby other than like making babies in Wawa parking lots. Anyway, listen. Let's get into Amber's crash out because, again, I'm getting so many comments about that. Once again, Elle, sorry that happened to you, girl. I'm floored by it, to be honest with you. I was not intending to even, I didn't know that was even going on. Again, I was just trying to be nosy, I was pocket watching, okay? I admit it. I was pocket watching. And then I stumbled upon that, that scene, and it was rough. It was brutal. I feel like Amber was bullying that girl. I've got a screenshot or a screen recording that I took, and I want to share it with you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the live chat. Playback Posse, let me know in the comment section, okay? That's where we'll be able to chat. And per usual, if you're enjoying today's episode of The Morning Report, don't forget to go ahead and leave a thumbs up or a like so YouTube knows you enjoyed, okay? Well, here's Amber crashing out. But listen, aside from her being mean to Elle, she also shared some information about her ex-fiance, Gary Wayt. Do you guys remember the guy who went into witness protection to escape her? Listen as she talks about him and, makes all sorts of claims about him.
24/7. You're on here 24/7. Go take care of your kids then. You're on here at night. You're on here during the day. You used to be on here on YouTube drinking wine all day, all day long. Tell the truth, honey. You were a nobody. Nobody knew who you were. Nobody cared. Shut up. These are the type of ignorant people that you guys need to understand. Don't listen to this freaking weirdo. Y'all want the real truth? I'm going to give you the truth. Over here calling on my boyfriend. Talking about my ex. Saying that my ex left because of this reason. Boy, I took the ring off his motherfucking finger in that place. That's why he left. Because I said, I can't marry you. And I took the ring that I gave him off his finger and took my ring off. His face looked like he was devastated. And then a couple months after, he comes out and says, oh, well, it was just an emotional conflict. Well, then that's what it is. And then he comes out months later trying to save face. Come on now. Come on. What? Because maybe he's dating somebody else and he doesn't want to look like a dick? That's not my issue. It's not my issue. About my kids, though, fuck you. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? You were an addict. You were you didn't go to prison. You didn't do anything. Yeah, well, I did. Oh my God. Yeah, things like that happen in the world, Elle. Yeah. It's just called real life. Some people don't do things like that, and some people do. Yeah? This is a joke to me, you guys. She's a fucking joke. It's a joke. Okay? Hello, Karen. Jesus. Fucking Karen to the max. Amen, Amber. Exactly. Amen. These chicks are so damn weird.
So there you go. It was a very brutal watch. She muted Elle so that Elle could not defend herself or correct, any of the lies that Amber was putting out against her or about her until the very end. So eventually she did unmute Elle, and then Elle and Elle's husband, they were like clearing things up. Like, Elle doesn't even really drink like that. Like, where'd you get that? You must be talking about Without a Crystal Ball and just all this other stuff, because Elle and Without a Crystal Ball, or Katie Joy, they used to work together in the past. So maybe that's why Amber kind of had them mixed up or something like that. But overall, it was rough, you guys. But listen, Elle will survive this. Like, you know what? Like, she will triumph, because at the end of the day, Amber was the one that looked crazy, right? I just wanted to kind of point to the stuff she was saying about her ex-fiance, Gary Wayt. So that's the guy. Again, he's the one who really, really had to run away and escape from Amber, right? And so she's claiming that he eventually came back. He said that it was just like a lapse in judgment. He was very, very emotionally kind of like all over the place. He didn't think things through. And essentially, he asked for Amber to take him back. I want to know if you guys think that that is even true, right? I personally do not believe that that's true. I don't think that a person does what this man did, right? Leave your phone, leave your wallet behind, and just book it across state lines to get away from somebody, just to turn around and try to get them back and act like, this was just so, I don't know, like, I don't know what got into me, sort of a thing. Like, that is absolutely insane. I think that she's just really upset that everybody, kind of made light of the situation, or kind of made fun of the situation about like how terrible of a person you have to be for somebody to run away in that kind of capacity. And I'm sorry, it's hilarious. What do you want from us, Amber? Right? Remember, and NY11 says, remember when Amber claimed that they didn't fight or anything, everything that was all good. Now she's saying exactly, she took the ring off. Like, she's the one that broke up with him. And then he ran away. He was so devastated. She broke up. Please, she's not a reliable narrator. And on top of that, the gag is that Amber went and made these claims on Elle's YouTube channel. But now all of a sudden, she's so pissed at Elle and ready to fight her. What changed? What happened? I have literally no freaking idea, right? Amen, you guys. Honestly, that was crazy. Listen. Strange things happen when you're just, minding other people's business on TikTok Live, right? And it went on for a while. I got to be honest with you. If I were Elle, I would have disconnected the thing. You think I'm going to sit there and somebody is yelling at me, calling me a loser, calling me this, calling me that? No, absolutely not. I was so shocked, actually, that she didn't drop the call. Like, hell no. Maybe I'm just too weak. Now, listen, I don't see myself doing any of these TikTok duet, whatever things with Amber or anything like that. She's just far too unstable. And on top of that, very aggressive. And she'll lie to you with a straight face and then be really pissy with you. Like, you're the crazy one. Like, listen, no, thank you. No, thank you. Kikar says, go take care of your kids. It's hilarious coming from Amber. Isn't it? Like, baby, the call is coming from inside the house. You can't even shut your camera off and go take care of your kids, because one of them is no contact with you. And the other one was moved to another state because you refused to step up as a mother. So please get the hell out of here, right? Oh my freaking God. A mess. A true mess. See you soon, you star sub. I'm ready for my dragging, boo. Have a good meeting. Winnie the Cat says, so Amber admits to physical assault again and admits she lied the whole time, and who knew why he left? Yeah, not the one she thinks he does. Exactly. It's all lies. You really never know what the truth is when it comes to Amber Portwood, right? Steph says, I think you'd pop off on her if it were. I wouldn't even be able to, because she put her on mute. She put her on mute. So imagine someone's cursing your ass out, then they put you on mute so you can't even clap back, and you're just, there. Like, that's crazy. Amber is crazy for that. She's insane. By the way, nice to see you back, Farah. Hopefully everything is going well with the kids back in school and everything. How are you guys doing? This is the first week that a lot of you guys as children are going back to school. How are you guys doing with the adjustment and whatnot? A whole new routine, isn't it? Super cool. There were some other comments that were left earlier in regards to the story that I wanted to get to before we cross over to the Taylor Swift story, shall we? So Kelly had said Amber really went for Elle. Elle held her own, though. Yes, she did a fantastic job. Shannon says, we're factually untrue. In fact, it seemed that they were mostly about Katie Joy from Without a Crystal Ball. But anytime Elle tried to point out, Amber ran over her. Exactly. It's not worth it. You can't fight with crazy. At that point, you kind of just disengage and just talk about them from a distance and just don't get too close to the weeds, It was nuts. It was nuts. Amber was wild yesterday. I don't know what happened. I don't know what spurred this, level of anger, because again, Amber was crying and trying to act like she was completely confused as to why her man ran away from her on Al's YouTube channel. So how do you go from that to I hate you, you're a loser, you're this, you're that, you're an alcoholic? Like, I don't get it, right? Winnie the Cat says Amber's excuses are getting old. There are several other castmates who have mental illnesses or addiction, and they are in the process of recovering and repairing. And that's the thing, all Amber's got is her child psychologist. And that's not where, listen, Amber and Kale, they both need to get new psychologists and therapists. They've been in these treatments for too long to still be making the decisions that they are making and acting the way that they do. That's just facts, right? Dalmatian says Amber Portwood can't do anything but cuss and yell. Exactly. Just way too damn aggressive. She reminds me of Lauren from Utah in that regard, aka Lala from Vanderpump Rules. So y'all know I'm doing my rewatch of Vanderpump Rules, and I'm on season 9 now, but like around season 8, when Lauren or Lala can officially go open with her, her boyfriend who was married at the time when they got together, she gets so cocky, so aggressive, and her dad dies as well. And it's brutal. She sucks the air out of her room. That's the same energy that Amber has, and I can't stand that kind of energy. Sarah says, buenos dias desde hot ass Houston, Texas. Buenos dias, Sarah. You know what? Like, I feel you. I am melting here too. And we don't have AC, so it's just like this little rinky-dink ventilateur. Fan that is keeping me cool, and it is barely working. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and change my outfit for tonight, because I've already sweat my behind off in this. Hey Misha, how are you? Did you get to go to Lansdowne like we were talking about the last time? Misha's my Ottawa girl, so she keeps me like posted hip to what's going on in Ottawa. Gwen says, I'm the same way, Grace. The way I would have hung up immediately. I don't even let exactly talk to me like that anymore. I'm not letting some unhinged person yell at me. Exactly. No, you think no, because guess what? Like, no, like it's crazy. Like, hell no, you're too good for this girl. Hang up on her and talk shit about her and let her like beg to get back onto your live, and don't let her in type of a thing, like, no, because then people they screen record this thing, right? And they recirculate it. And I would not want a video like that of me being treated that way. Hell no, absolutely freaking not. Especially not by Amber. Oh, Amber. Cynthia says, poor Al having to put up with that. Like, girl, people are working while your hot ass mess giving us tea to sip on. Exactly. Does anyone know what happened like with Amber, why she was so aggressive towards her? Because I didn't catch the beginning. So I just do not understand it at all. I think she said something about Elle contacting her ex-boyfriend, but listen, she's doing her reporting. That's how reporting works, right? You contact the sources. I contacted Nathan's long-suffering wife, May, and she was so nice. She gave me a lot of y'all saw that episode, right? Like, she gave me a lot of information and whatnot. Like, she was happy to talk to me anytime. Like, if you're not interested, just say no. Like, keep it moving, boo. Raven says, thank you. This is a bodysuit from Zara. It's super old, by the way. I don't even know how I still have this. I think it's like 3 years old. Oh, Misha, so they have the Kettleman bagels there now? Listen, let me look at my bagels right now. I'm coming for you later. I have a big pack of bagels now at my house, and now I feel happy. I feel so happy. Listen, I'm a simple girl. All I need is some bagels in the house, some cream cheese and some bacon, and I'm good. All is well with the world, and some sunshine as well. That's it. That's all I need. We had the best chat. Somebody from the US was talking about going to Canada. And, as a Canadian, I love, love, love Tim Hortons. I'm always hyping up my Tim Hortons, right? And so Misha, and then we had, who else was talking about this? Tyrell. We were talking about bagels in Canada and bagel culture from Tim Hortons, Kettleman's, etc. So, voilà. Suite à cette conversation, after this conversation, I went and got a whole bunch of bagels. And exactly, she was completely mixed up. She was not talking about LB. LB has never, from what we're aware of anyway, she's never posted up on YouTube drinking. And here's the thing, if you're drinking a little bit on your YouTube or whatever, like having a glass of wine, I don't think that makes you an alcoholic anyway. Just saying, one of my YouTube friends here, like her channel used to be associated with wine, but like she does like legal content. She's not an alcoholic. She's a lawyer actually, but she likes wine. Like she appreciates the taste and the culture behind wine. So like some people do that for their content, Unwine with Tasha K. She does wine as well. Does that make her an alcoholic? I don't think so personally. It's kind of like a lame thing, especially when you yourself are an addict, right? Just saying. Anyway, listen, y'all. I'm going to sip some of this water. Shout out to my Canadians. Listen, I'm always repping my people. I'm so excited to go back to Canada, you guys. I'm going to sip my water. And then on the flip side, we're going to come back and talk about Taylor Swift's podcast interview with her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, announcing her 12th album. Then we're going to talk about Johnny Depp and how Disney wants him back. They're practically on their hands and knees, groveling, crying, screaming, and throwing up for the chance to work with him again for Pirates of the Caribbean. If you're enjoying today's episode of the show, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and I'll catch you very soon after a message from some of our sponsors.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running.
Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.
Listen, we're not looking at Johnny Depp right now. He's coming up after this story. We're talking about none other than Taylor Swift. Listen, I think you guys are kind of 50-50 in regards to your love for Taylor Swift on this channel, which I understand. Listen, I appreciate her music. However, I wouldn't consider myself a Swiftie. I wouldn't really go to a concert of hers unless it was completely free, but I do like quite a few of her songs, at least a dozen or so, right? So she seems really happy in this relationship. I gotta say, Travis seems happy as well. I do admit that I thought it was PR at first, but listen, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if an engagement were in their future. It's been 2 years. They're both 35 plus, right? So I wouldn't be surprised, right? I think it's been about a good amount of time at this point. And I would love that for Taylor. I loved her album Lover. And she was so in love with Joe Alwyn. And she was, talking about really wanting to take the next step with him and whatnot. So I wouldn't be surprised if we got some more of that in this new Life of a Showgirl album that she is currently putting out. We're getting ready to put out. So that album is actually going to come out on October 3rd. So basically, I do have a question for you guys. And it's shady, but it's true. It's true because there's this one thing that Taylor does that drives me freaking nuts. She likes to manipulate the charts by releasing 1,000,001 variants. And I cannot stand that. Her Tortured Poets Department, whatever, album that came out the last time, she released, do you guys have an idea of how many variants of that she released? 36. 36 different versions of one album in order to continuously stay on top of the charts and manipulate the charts. I don't like that. And I hope that she has kind of evolved past that as far as marketing is concerned. So she would do this anytime an artist was about to drop their own album, she would try to block them. So this caused a lot of controversy when it came to Charlie XCX. And I think it also happened with Bad Bunny and a couple of other people as well. And people were getting really pissed off. It's put out your album, stand behind it, get away from all these gimmicks. If it's a good album, it'll continue to sell and it'll handle all this stuff, the records or whatever on its own without you having to release 36 different wasteful versions, right? So anyway, she talked a little bit about her track list and stuff. And a lot of people are curious about whether or not she is kind of talking about the breakdown of her friendship or alleged and rumored breakdown of her friendship with none other than Blake Lively. Taylor and Blake Lively have been friends for a really, really long time. Taylor is also a godmother to some of Blake Lively's children, or her daughters, I should say. And so when the track list had some tracks Ruined the Friendship and Canceled and whatnot, a lot of tongues got to wagging and wondering if those songs could potentially be about Blake Lively. However, in the podcast interview, Taylor said that she had worked on this album during the Eras tour, specifically during the European leg of the Eras tour, which took place prior to the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni It Ends With Us legal catastrophe that they are still embroiled in. So I'm kind of curious. You know, like maybe she started working on it during the European leg and then like, you know, finished it afterwards, right? Like we don't know for sure, but you know, keep an eye out. We're gonna have to wait for the lyrics to come out and everything. Remember, Justin Baldoni's legal team, they got cursed out by the judge for bringing that kind of gossip to the courtroom. They said, Judge, I know from a friend of a friend of a friend who overheard a friend of a friend of a friend minus 2 friends and carry the 5, that Taylor Swift is upset with Blake Lively and she feels used by Blake Lively because Blake Lively was like throwing her name around in order to intimidate Justin Baldoni and to force Justin Baldoni to sign off on like Blake Lively's cut and version of like the film, blah, 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 right? So a lot of people are currently suspecting that. And I'm really curious about whether or not you also fall into that category. Another thing that Taylor let us know in her interview with her boo thang is that she really appreciated the way that he came on this podcast that she's now on with him to declare his love for her. She said, wow, like I feel like I almost manifested this because this is the type of stuff I write about. Like I love these big, like grandiose romantic declarations. It's like being outside with a boombox, you know, not a boombox, a boombox. You know, so yeah, I thought that was really cute. Listen, they seem really happy. And so I hope that everything works out well for them in the long run with this relationship. October 3rd is Theo's birthday. Is this a Libra? You're a Libra. Wow. Listen, Theo, you have to come back on October 3rd so we could play the birthday song. We have birthday music. Listen, the production value is going up, baby. We've got birthday music on here for people's birthdays. So we'll be getting ready to sing you a happy birthday when the day comes. But happy birthday in advance right now. What did you guys think about that interview so far? Let's see. Misha says it was a cute podcast. I must say it sure was. Listen, like Happy looks good on her, right? Like she looks really good. Ali says that was a horrible run-on sentence album. Well, that's the thing. Lately, she's been coming up with like the longest title names for her albums. The Torturers Poets Department. Girl, you know, what is this? The Life of a Showgirl. Like, you know, I think it was, who said this? I forgot who said this, but somebody said this on yesterday's stream that she should have just gone for Showgirl. Like, boom, you know, there it is. Like, it doesn't have to be this long sentence or whatever. You know, for your albums. Theo says she must be bankrupting the diehard fans with the variants. Exactly. They are really, and they take it as a personal mission. So not only are they buying potentially up to 36 versions of the same thing, they're also buying like, you know, the merch, right? So whether it's, I don't know, a hoodie, a cardigan, or whatever, like they're going and buying the stuff, right? And some people are putting this stuff on credit cards. Like they feel like they actually absolutely have to do this for their girl Taylor. And it's insane. Mind you, the majority of her fans are very young. Right? Like, so it's kind of crazy. Alice says, I think if Taylor Swift went to college as an English major, she'd be a much better artist. And that's the thing, you know, like I heard that she's collaborating with some really good hit makers this time. There is no Jack Antonoff, who is Margaret Qualley's husband, which by the way, when I heard that she wasn't working with him, it got my spidey senses tingling before I get to your comment, Tidisha. Because I remember watching some stuff go viral from last year's Grammy Awards, and there was something that was really mean happening, which is that Jack's wife, Margaret, and Sabrina Carpenter, you guys probably saw this as well if you're chronically online like me, they were having a conversation at the Grammys. Taylor Swift was with them, and then Jack's wife was like purposely putting her hair like this to cover where Taylor was as Taylor's trying to engage in this conversation with them. And Sabrina's talking to her directly and not paying attention. Like they didn't make an opening for Taylor. They left her kind of looking stupid and like left out there. So I kind of feel like maybe like there's some bad blood. Maybe Margaret doesn't like Taylor because Taylor seemed like a nice person. Like she wanted to be friendly with the girls, chat with them. But it felt like they were being mean to her, which, you know, for Margaret was weird. Your husband is a longtime collaborator with her. You gotta, you know, you gotta rep your husband here, right? And then for Sabrina, Taylor, she kind of put you on with that tour, like letting you open for the Eras tour. And that was your blow up moment after 6 albums. So I didn't understand why they were treating her like that, to be honest with you. I do wonder if maybe she's going to reference that in the album. Listen, if she references that. But here's the thing. She works with Sabrina Carpenter in the album. So maybe I'm reaching. I don't know. But do you guys remember that? Did you see that happen? Tidisha says, I don't understand Taylor Swift's appeal. She's mediocre to me. Well, that's the thing. Like, she's got some cute songs and stuff, but I wouldn't say she's a great or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like very commercial music overall. So I think that that's like the appeal. The fact that it's so like mass market, like wide, kind of like inoffensive music, essentially, right? Thank you, Crystal. Nice to see you, boo. Good morning. Theo says, I highly doubt Taylor would write about Blake. Taylor avoids bad PR at all costs. But remember what she wrote about Katy Perry, Bad Blood, and then she assembled all of her like mean girls with her to bury Katy Perry. Then she went about Kim Kardashian, if you something Amy or whatever, like she goes in. Taylor could be really messy, y'all. Misha says off topic, but UK claims Katy Perry is pissed at her soon-to-be ex-husband regarding Justin Trudeau. Oh God, it may be a true thing. So essentially, Katy Perry's ex, are you talking about Russell Brand or her ex-fiance, Orlando Bloom? Because Orlando Bloom did leave a comment, kind of a cheeky comment, about a story about how Katy and Justin had been seeing each other, which, by the way, that excites me so much. I really hope that continues to play out. I want to see Justin Trudeau cross over into Hollywood. You just know it's his dream. Libra gang, indeed, Theo. I love me a Libra. I love Libra men and women, so that's really exciting. OMG says, am I here in time for this sign off? Yup, we have one more story after this one, so make yourself comfortable, OMG. Jessica says she should have just done Showgirl. Exactly. Weren't you the one who said that yesterday, boo? Like, yeah, I think that would have been a really, really good title. You don't need all this like long stuff, girl. Like, the schools aren't well anymore. We're not reading all that. We're having a hard time. We have to trace it with our fingers. Oh, wow. I seen you with Kiefer. Well, I saw you first. Deshauna's husband is a Libra. Oh, that's amazing. Listen, I love me some Libras. Now you got me thinking about my Libra, you guys. One of my besties is a Libra. I keep talking to you guys about like this couple, like this gay couple that I'm always with, and I love them so much. The guy, and I do my martial arts with him. He's a Libra, and he is just such a dream. Really, really love him. Oh, I love them both. And you know what? They're away. This is making me a little bit emo because they've been away for a week. So France kind of shuts down, Paris at least, in August. So people go back to like where they're from or whatever, their cities or countries, whatever, or they go on vacation. And so they went down to where he's from in the south near Marseille. So yeah, I haven't seen them in over a week. They come back in 3 days. So we're going to see each other immediately after that. So I'm looking forward to that at the very least. Yes, is Max Martin working on his Gives Me Hope? Yes, apparently he is a really, really good pop songwriter. Apparently he has hits on hits on hits. Unfortunately, I didn't even think to go and look at what he has produced yet. But everybody online is saying the same thing. Like, she got with some heavy hitters. She wants some hits because Tortured Poets was a dud. It was boring. It was dull. Like, it was so lame. Gwen, oh, well, you know what? It's never too late. Thanks so much for liking, Thank you. Kelly says, I'm a Libra too. I love Libra season. Yes. Shout out to my Libras. Y'all know I'm a Libra cusp, right? Because my birthday is the 26th of October. So it's just 3 days after the cutoff for Libra season. So I'm like in between Libra and Scorpio. And I love my Libra side too, y'all. I love the Scorpio side, but I also love the Libra side. Guys, can you believe it? We're already on our last story of the day. Oh man. Well, listen, let's make it worthwhile, shall we? Johnny Depp. How do you guys feel about him ever since he won the American trial against Amber Heard? He lost out still in the UK. However, he won big in the US, and it seems as though that has all but restored his image in the eyes and hearts of the world, right? And so now with that in mind, Pirates of the Caribbean is asking for him back. The producer, Jerry Bruckheimer, was talking to Entertainment Weekly about how badly he wants Johnny Depp to reprise his role as Captain Jack Sparrow in a sixth Pirates of the Caribbean film. So he told Entertainment Weekly that he was eager for Johnny Depp to return to the role. And I quote, Johnny is open to the possibility of reprising his iconic role. If he likes the way the part's written, I think he would do it. It's all about what's on the page, as we all know. And so he says that what they're working on would be a part of a reboot, right? It's a reboot, but if it was up to me, he would be in it. I love him. He's a good friend. He's an amazing artist, and he's a unique look. He created Captain Jack. That was not on the page. That was him doing a little Pepe Le Pew and Keith Richards. That was his interpretation of Jack Sparrow. And so again, he says that it might all come down to the script and that Johnny is indeed open. Quote, we're still working on a screenplay. We want to make it. We just got to get the right screenplay. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we're close. So look, Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow might be coming back sooner than you think. Would you be open to that? Let's see what y'all have to say in the live chat. Johnny Depp. Listen, I don't know, you guys. I think I'm still not on the Johnny Depp wagon. I think that maybe like he got good PR for the American lawsuit, but I think he's still not the greatest person, to be honest with you. But I did love him as Captain Jack Sparrow, so maybe for nostalgia's sake, but overall, I wouldn't call myself a Johnny Depp fangirl, to be honest with you guys. Brie, your daughter's a Libra? Yes! Shout out to my little Libra. Happy early birthday to her, too. Look at us. We're getting greedy. What season are we? Are we still Leo season? We're Leo season heading into Virgo season, and we're already giving some shout outs to the Libras. Libras are the new Leos, apparently. Misha says, just being nosy. Has Cheyenne Floyd's husband unblocked you? You know what? Let me go ahead and check. And, every time I think about how he blocked me, I'm like, wow, that joke was so hilarious. Like, it was funny. Ha ha. Why would you block me? So, you know how Cheyenne's husband is a scammer? Like, he would steal credit cards, identities, and stuff like that. And he'd open up, like, phone accounts in your name and whatnot, right? Me neither, Theo. What is his name? Zach Davis? Yeah, I'm still blocked, though. So anyway, he was in Dubai with his friends, and he wanted to show off that they had like these platinum black cards. So he lines them up. It's like, listen, is that your card or is that your girl's card? I didn't say that though, because that would have been too rude, right? All I said was, wow, they're brave to whip their cards out around Zach. And I didn't even leave that as a comment on the post. I just shared the photo in my stories and put that as my comment. I was like, oh, this is art. This is hilarious. And the next thing I know, I'm blocked. Allegedly says, Disney does not deserve Johnny. They chose to side with Scamber, the abuser. And that's the thing, like I feel like a lot of people do feel that way. It's like too little too late. They should have stood by him, let the thing play out in court. Jalissa says, I was the one that said it should be Showgirl. Yes, it was you. And I completely agree with you. I do like the visuals. I couldn't put up the Taylor Swift visuals for the whatever of a Showgirl because, she's getting sexy these days, right? Like, so I couldn't put that up. YouTube doesn't like that, but they look really, really good, y'all. Kahara says, sorry, y'all, don't kill me, but I've never seen a single Pirates of the Caribbean. Really? Isn't that crazy? You should try it out. It's so good. Johnny Depp was he killed that role. That role was meant for him. Is that Keira Knightley? The leading lady in the film, she was really good as well. Orlando Bloom, like that was a dream cast. It's a really good movie. I would recommend it, Kahara, if you can, watch it. Allegedly does not want Johnny doing it at all. A snooze you lose sort of a situation. Misha as well. Thea says Pirates of the Caribbean has 2 mini sequels. Yup, they're about to release a 6th. Lord have mercy. That's the thing, you guys. I don't like when there's too many movies. This is why I kind of got off the Harry Potter train. Give me 3 movies and that's enough. Any more than that, I'm tired. So I watched 3 movies of the Harry Potter. Then after that, I had to bow out. I'm the same way with telenovelas. Y'all know I love me a good telenovela. Pero a veces hay demasiados episodios, you guys. Too many freaking episodes. Why does a season have 26 episodios? That's too much. I don't need 26 episodes a season. Please. Let me breathe. I got other things to do. Kahara says, I like Johnny and throwbacks like Cry Baby and Edward Scissorhands. Oh, Edward Scissorhands was a really good one. I don't know Cry Baby, though. Lex says, there's no Jack Sparrow without Johnny. Let's be real. Period. Gag it. There's been 5. I know. I didn't even know that. I think I've seen maybe 2 maximum. I had no clue. Oh, God. Tadisha hasn't seen it either. Yeah, I can never make fun of people for that because I'm always the one getting made fun of because I've never really watched like 90% of Disney movies or whatever. So I get it, you guys. Sexy Vep says, honestly, it's their fault for not giving him a chance defending himself. Yeah, now they lost out. And that's the thing. They always do this. It's performative. It's just like Bravo TV. Bravo TV did this with a lot of their stars. And then they move them over to these different shows. It's like, do you or do you not stand by these people? Just be clear with us, please. Matt says, hey, Matt, stupid. I think sometimes they need to leave things where they were. And I agree. How many versions of the same film do we need? Damn it. Yeah, such a classic. It was so damn good. By the way, you guys, if this is your first time watching The Morning Report, just an FYI, I go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest stories. So I will be live again tomorrow just an FYI, as we wrap up today's episode of the show, I just like reading you guys' comments as much as possible before I wrap things up. I do have to call somebody, though. You know what? Today's actually a really busy day. I have to call 2 people. Then I'm going to the museum. And then tomorrow I get to call my little brother. My little brother lives in San Francisco. So it's kind of like hard trying to figure out what time I get to call him at. I have to text him. Hey, what time should I call you at? Sexy Bam says, I knew he wasn't that bad person. I love Johnny Depp, period, forever and will be. Listen, that trial was really good PR for him at the end of the day. That just, he rose like a phoenix from the ashes, didn't he? Yeah, he blocked me, you guys. Can someone help get me unblocked? Tell him I won't do it again. It's not true though. I certainly will do it again if he does that. You know, how are you like out here flaunting credit cards? You know, it's not even your coin and you're a whole ass scammer. Please, like you walked into that one. Anyway, listen, you guys, I do have to get going. I have to make some phone calls before I head out to the museum. I will be sharing some more things on my Instagram. You know that show on Netflix Wednesday? They did this like cool pop-up installation of like their own beach by the Seine River here in Paris. And I've been meaning to share that with you guys. I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but we've got a bunch of Statue of Liberty statues around Paris as well. So I saw one recently at Le Jardin de Luxembourg, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to share that too. I got to get caught up on the whole Instagram thing, okay? So keep an eye out. Grace Report over on YouTube. If you enjoyed today's episode of The Morning Report, please do not hesitate to leave a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you guys enjoy my content. Ronnie, I'm sorry you had a bad... sorry, I thought you had a bad day in general. It was rough for you in the chat. That's okay, girl. Listen, watching from the bushes is fine too, boo. Shout out to my bush squad. Thank you, Deshauna. You guys, and no, I don't have the dog today. I was just watching it for a day, but you know what? She asked me if I could do it again next Monday or something like that. So he'll be back. He's so sweet. I love dogs so much. Anyway, you guys, enjoy your day. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for being here. Ciao. Bonne journée.